The knot braid is a special family of braids that I will talk to you about in today's braiding skills tutorial. These braids are based off the patterns used in macrame activities like friendship bracelets or paracord knotting. There are so many knot braid options available, and they can get complicated really fast. So in this video, I'll show you 4 easier versions so you can get acquainted with the style and start practicing the basics. This first one is known as the Chinese staircase. I'm starting with my hair loose, but if this is your first knot braid, you can ponytail the hair first to keep it all together better. Then separate a small section of hair. Cross this section over the rest of the hair, bring around the back, and then pull through the space between the small section and the rest of the hair. Pull tight, and you have your first knot. Add slightly more hair to this strand. Cross it over the rest of the hair again. Bring it around behind and pull through the hole. Add in slightly more hair, make another knot, and keep going for as long as you want the braid to be. To make the knotting part easier, I stick a couple fingers in between the small section and the rest of the hair as a placeholder to make sure the hole between these sections of hair doesn't disappear. I also use these fingers to pull the end of the strand through the hole. As you keep forming this braid, you'll notice that the knot pattern starts creating a spiral around your ponytail of hair. I like the look of just one twist around, so I'm going to tie the braid off here as a ponytail accent. You can do this as well, which will make the braid look like this. Or you can keep going further if you like. This second braid, known as the lace knot or caterpillar braid, uses the same sort of knotting technique but adds in free hanging hair like a lace braid. Start with a small amount of hair and split into uneven halves. The smaller section, like in the last braid, is what we will be knotting with. Cross it over the larger strand, bring around behind, and pull forward through the hole in between the two strands. Pull it tight. Now combine both strands into one, and pick up some new hair to be the next knotting strand. Bring that over the larger strand, behind, and through the hole. Pull tight and combine with the larger strand. Then pick up more hair to make the next knot. The reason we have to use new hair for the knotting strand each time, either by adding in more, as in the Chinese staircase, or by using a new strand each time like here, is because knotting uses up a lot of length of hair. If you were to just make the knots with the same hair each time, you would quickly run out of length in that strand and would only have a couple knots to show for it. So to finish off this braid, keep picking up new strands to knot with for as far as you want the pattern to go, and then the finished look of this braid resembles this. A square knot technique can be used as well, like the knot you start tying your shoelaces with. I'll make a French version of that here. Starting with 2 even strands from the top of your head, cross one over the other and pull it up through the hole created by this crossing. In my case, that's the right strand, but you might prefer to do it with the left. Pull tight. Then add in some new hair to both strands. Cross the right over the left again, pull up through the hole and tighten. Add in more hair, make another square knot, and so on. Keep adding in hair and knotting to make the braid. It's really important that you pull each knot tight in all of these braids before making the next one. That might sound scary, to be intentionally putting tight knots in our hair, but our hair is actually fairly elastic, meaning that it can bend but prefers to bounce back to its original shape, like a rubber band. So whereas a string is plastic, which means it will stay in a knot when put there, our hair resists knotting patterns and can easily slip out. That's why you want to tighten your knot braids as much as possible to make them look nice, and why it's also easy to take out the knot braids when you're done with them. In fact, people with really straight hair may have a hard time keeping the knot braids to stay in at all. For you curlies out there, it will be much easier to keep braids in place. Taking all that into consideration, I'm going to finish my square knot braid with a ponytail tie right after adding in all the free hanging hair in order to keep this braid secure. In the end, it comes out looking like this. Finally, you can make knot braids where there are 2 strands doing the knotting. The specific one I'll show you here is called a cobra stitch. Split off 2 smaller sections from either side of your hair. Cross the right one over the bigger chunk of hair, like you've been doing for the other braids, but then also weave it under the left small strand. Then bring the left small strand behind the larger chunk of hair and pull through the hole made between the right strand and the large strand. Pull to tighten the knot. With the left strand now, do the mirror opposite. Cross it over the large strand, under the right small one, and then bring the right small one behind the large strand and through the hole on the left. Then tighten. Keep alternating this pattern between the left and right strand to make the braid. Now you'll notice my braid is a little messy here. The more complex the braid you do, the messier your hair can get because of the knot tightening. For teaching purposes, I don't care so much about this, but if you want a smoother braid, you can wet down the strands to limit the frizzing or coat them with some pomade. This braid also uses up the length of the strands quickly, as expected, so either add in slightly more hair to the strands each time or make a shorter ponytail accent like this. Hopefully this tutorial helps you out with knot braids. If working with hair is too difficult for now, you can use string or paracord first to practice the techniques. If you feel comfortable doing these knots with hair, try looking up more difficult knots to do. Good luck everyone, and I hope you like the knot braid. This video is a part of a basic braiding tutorial series I'm doing as a 12 Days of Christmas event at the end of 2016. So if you like this video, come back to this channel every day for a new braid to learn. Or if it's past 2016 by now, you can check out all of these basic braiding tutorials in the playlist over to the right, as well as some other hair tricks and tips videos in there for basic hairstyling advice. Thanks for watching, and happy braiding!